I was 31 years old when I was named the head coach at Seton Hall. I was the youngest head coach in the history of the Big East. I'm sitting in coaches' meetings with Big John Thompson and Boeheim and all these guys, and I'm coming here, just turned 31, and I'm like, the heck am I doing in here? I mean, you have those moments where you're looking around. These are the guys who you looked up to. Some of them actually recruited you, to play for them.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's one of those like, whoa.
So did you feel like you had their respect?
Or
did they
you have to earn that.
Oh, you got to earn it.
You
They said, okay, here's this 31-year-old guy.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, exactly right. You got to earn it, and I think we did that. We did that.
So who helped? Did any of your opponents at that time help you, the coaching opponents, whether you're talking about Boeheim, Thompson?
It was a great story. You'll probably appreciate this. I was at Seton Hall. We're playing Indiana, so we're playing Coach Knight. And I've known Coach Knight through Coach K, of course. That's the relationship. Coach Knight recruited and coached Coach K at West Point, at Army. Coach K was his graduate assistant for 1 year at Indiana before he got the head job at Army. So that's a relationship. And then here I am, Coach K's protege, if you will, and I'm going on to Seton Hall. Well, we play Indiana in Indianapolis. We get drilled. My first year there. When we get smacked. I mean, it was typical, expected or whatever. Well, somebody comes down to the locker room after game's over, and a gentleman says, tells our people standing outside, is Coach Amaker around? And so we come. They say, yeah. Well, Coach Knight wants to see you. I was like, uh-oh.
Right. Because you hadn't talked to him before.
No. I mean, you see him before the game.
All
Hello.
you knew was all the Bobby Knight histrionics.
Yeah.
Right?
Coach Knight wants to see you. So when you finish the media and all the things you got to do, come on down. Coach Knight wants to see you in the locker room. I'm like, uh-oh. So I end up going down. I'm sitting in a room. We have chairs out, and he just says, sit down. There are a few other people around, some of his, followers, people that always around him, his posse. Okay,
right.
His
That's
posse.
Right. His crew.
His crew. But he wanted to tell me. He said, "Look, you're just getting started, and always admired you as a player, and knowing you through the years, whatever. But I want to tell you some of the things we were trying to do against you, just so you can move forward with, the next, team that may try this, or somebody else that may want a scouting report that may use this against you." It was amazing. I was just so appreciative of how he wanted to help me after he beat our, brains in, but he was trying to make sure as a young coach, let me tell you what we were trying to do.
And do you remember any of the things he said? Like, for example, what? Just give us an example.
Ball screen coverage, for instance. Like we were screening on the ball with a non-shooter. So they had no worry about him popping, so they really kind of, not trapped the ball screen, but they were just so hard hedging. So we didn't, we're thinking he's open. Well, we can try to get it back to the open guy, but they weren't because we had a non-shooter in that position. So he just knew some of the nuances of, well, if this is the guy that screens on the ball, you may want to tell that guy every time to roll. Don't ever pop if he can't shoot. So, I mean, but just things we know, but my first time and things that he saw as a coach, the little wrinkles that what he told me would be a great thing to do.
There's so many things to ask you about Harvard, but the one thing that stands out to me, now, when you tell me about being recruited by Duke, I'm not surprised. Big-time players being recruited by Duke. Recruiting at Duke, no surprises there. Seton Hall, Michigan. Recruiting at Harvard.
Yeah.
Now, was that just like a wake-up call for you? Because I'm sure you had never recruited like that. You can see a player that you like and you say, okay, how are the grades? How are the test scores? Okay, maybe not a fit for us.
Yeah.
What did you have to do? What kind of adjustment did you have to make to kind of figure out
Michael,
the lay of that land?
I don't know that I had to make tremendous amount of adjustments. I just needed what I always felt, and this is, we all have to have confidence in yourself. You and in your profession, your industry, me and mine. I just felt like I needed just point me in the right direction. I felt like because if I believe in something, I feel like I can kind of go and make something of it. And I believed in Harvard. I believed in us trying to do something that had never, ever been done before, to make history at Harvard. I wanted to find a few guys, get me in front of a few guys that qualified or they're going to be capable of getting in, talented enough, but let me have a shot. Let me have a chance of expressing my vision, presenting an option, an opportunity, and not say, I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I want to present an option, an opportunity that I think could be game-changing for them and for us.
Now, I'm going to make the turn here. We're going to a few more questions, and then we'll let you go. But it's interesting how the program is great now. I mean, you've been to the NCAA tournament. You have won the Ivies several times.
We're proud of it. Yes, thank you.
You've had some big wins. And now, think about the irony. Coach K recruited you.
Yeah.
You were on Coach K's staff helping him recruit. And a couple of years ago, you're going up against Coach K for a recruit, Wendell Carter, and it was a real competition. I think at one point it was a Final Three of Harvard, Duke, and Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
For Carter.
Yeah.
What was that like to have that opportunity to get one of the best recruits in the country to come to Harvard?
Yes. What we've been building toward and what we are convinced can happen. It's got to be the right fit, and a lot of the boxes for us have to be checked. He checked them. And as you said, going up against Duke for a kid like that, and I was incredibly transparent with the kids. So listen, you know my background, you know what I believe in, you know that I love Coach K and love my experience at Duke. And if that's where you're going to go or you want to go, like, man, I support that. I can't have any. That's a great opportunity, great option. But if you're looking for something else to compare, if you're looking for something different to maybe think about, this is the one. And that's how we inched our way into his psyche. He was open to listening. His parents were incredibly supportive. They actually wanted him to choose Harvard. And what parent wouldn't want you?
That's right.
That was one of those,
That's right. When you talk about that brand, just that name globally.
I've used that, so I don't know how far this is going to go. It's
going far.
One of my tactics. But
this is national.
This is all over. This is global, right?
This is
but
national.
One of the tactics, I tell the parents, especially the mom, I said, when any other coach calls you, I said, you asked them if their child had a chance to go to Harvard, what would they say? And I said, you listen to how they respond.
That's right.
I said, if they are truthful, they said, look, you really got to look at that. You really got to find out if that's the right. But if they think they're going to just sell you on their school over Harvard, I said, you need to be leery and be aware of that. That's not the right response of a parent that has a chance to send their child to Harvard, and especially a child of color, especially an African-American child. I said, let's not get that twisted. So that's one of the things, as a parent, these parents of Carter, they were absolutely in tune of raising their son that he's got a chance to go to Harvard. That's hard to walk away from for any parent.